Thanks. This business of receiving an honorary degree, this transaction, perhaps I ought to say, goes basically like this. Someone or some group here at SUNY Purchase has decided to honor me for my writing and speaking, and several decades of hardworking psychotherapists stand behind me, imploring me not to question too extensively the wisdom of that decision. And my parents, who taught me how to behave in public, stand behind me, imploring me to at least have the good taste and graciousness not to question the decision publicly. And in exchange for the honor, I appear on stage, most often to accept diploma and hood and shake hands and wave, or occasionally, as is the case today, to say a few words. Whether silent or speaking, I'm decoration. I'm here to help adorn, decorate, to I was supposed to talk for 5 minutes and I wrote too much, so don't interrupt. I'm decoration. I'm here to help adorn, decorate, make more festive this most festive occasion. I love participating in commencements because, well, I'm a pretty depressed person. I read the newspaper every day, and so of course I'm depressed. Who isn't depressed nowadays? Everyone is depressed. You are depressed, or you ought to be. Not today, of course, when you are celebrating, but usually you're depressed. Your pet dog or your pet cat has probably gotten a contact depression just sitting next to you while you read the newspaper. I'm depressed, and most of the time when I'm not in rehearsal or, you know, as we say in Hollywood, taking a meeting or doing lunch, I have to sit alone with myself. All alone, look, we scared the baby. All alone with myself. All alone with myself, staring at a blank page or the ghastly white glare of an empty laptop screen, wondering how it's possible that at a mere 51 years of age, any trace of talent or intelligence or moxie I once possessed could so abruptly, so unceremoniously have departed, leaving not a trace behind. Depressed and lonely, I attend graduations looking to mooch off the day's celebratory spirits. The bright, sexy, seductive promise of a future of change, novelty, discovery, progress. Even on a rainy day like today, the radiance attendant upon real accomplishment, the Bacchic non-Euclidean ecstasy of liberation, joy, in other words, sheer, lovely human joy rises up from you to turn storm clouds and rainfall into rococo chariots transporting divinity and the promise of pennies from heaven. I come to mooch off your joy, not to dampen it. The price of my admission, since I haven't done the work you've had to do to be here, is that I must speak to you. That's the deal. That's how I get in at the banquet table of your joy. It's sometimes a complicated deal, a hard assignment. I began speaking at commencements in the mid-1990s during the Clinton interruption of the Reagan counter-revolution, and I have continued speaking at commencements at shorter and greater lengths throughout the resumption of the Reagan era through these past 8 years, these long, 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 long years of an administration whose every action outflanks one's wildest satirical impulses and surpasses even the most hyperbolically alarmist imagination. I am, as I mentioned, depressed, but my depression these days isn't the depression I was born with. It's not my birthright depression. It's a new kind of depression. It's like the depression you get when you put a lab rat in a cage and he learns that if he pushes one button he gets corn, and if he pushes another button he gets malt. And he's happy, when suddenly, oh no, he pushes a button and he gets shocked. But that's okay, the other button still dispenses malt till, oh no, now that button shocks him too. Maybe he'll try the corn button, maybe that button will now, ow, no, that shocks too. Oh no, try the malt button, ow, oh no, try the, ow, the rat gets depressed. I am the rat's poor earthborn companion and fellow mortal. Ow, I feel his pain, I know it well. It isn't depression, call it by its correct name, it's terror. The world, which once seemed a flowing fountain of corn and malt, now stands revealed as the cage it actually is, a prison house of no good possibilities, and a future we cannot see, but which will bring, we guess, more shocks, further fear, further terror. Ow, the subprime mortgage collapse. Ow, the miasma in Iraq. Ow, global warming. Ow, the cyclone and junta in Burma. Ow, the earthquake and lack of construction standards in China. Ow, the President of the United States stands before the Knesset and deliberately, to the extent that anything this president does truly merits the adverbial form of the word deliberation. He deliberately confuses appeasement and diplomacy. Ow! The conundrum of the speaker at the banquet table of joy laid out in a prison house cage of terror. Everyone who speaks at a commencement ceremony is that threat to the festive spirit. Everyone who opens his or her mouth near a live mic at commencement may well prove to be the buzzkill. But maybe that's what graduation day is intended to tell us. Maybe that's the point. We gather together to celebrate, among other things, the proximity, the disquietingly vital intimacy of terror and joy. I mean, let's face it, you're not entirely joyful, are you? You're anxious too. You're free to do what? The future awaits, but what will it bring? Are those gray skies outside a canopy concealing a delightful surprise, or a portent of disaster? Perhaps I'm kidding myself. Perhaps I come not to mooch off your joy, but to seek out kindred souls, souls similar to mine, souls brimful with panic. But if under your joy is panic, I believe that under that panic, that terror is more joy. A deeper, truer, stronger joy. Hope, desire, expectation that the storm clouds will deliver not discouragement and disillusion, but some bright, sexy God or some unanticipated goodness to earth. And so yesterday, as I sat at my desk facing the horror of my empty laptop screen, my head filled with newsprint terror, wondering how I was going to speak to you today, the phone rings, and it's my husband informing me that it has all of a sudden become unconstitutional in the state of California to deny same-sex couples the right to marry. Glad tidings are followed by the fear that homophobes in the fall will manage to adulterate the California state constitution's beautiful echo of the simple moral majesty of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution's promise, equal treatment under the law. That fear is followed by hope, the recollection that a likely heavy, big D Democratic turnout, far greater in number than Republican turnout in the primaries, favors the defeat of the homophobes' plans in November, followed by the depressing news that neither candidate for the Democratic nomination is going to openly disavow the separate but equal treatment implicit in any exclusion of LGBT citizens from legally sanctioned marriage, followed by the news that Governor Schwarzenegger, a Republican sort of, won't support the homophobes, and so on. My point is, joy and terror follow fast upon the heels of one another, and this is how the world sets spinning. And the trick is not to give up pushing those buttons. Don't be afraid to push buttons. Don't even be afraid of pushing other people's buttons. Don't give up hoping, hungering for corn or malt. And if neither corn nor malt, but only nasty electrical shocks are forthcoming, start to look around you. Start to fight for a way to get out of the cage. Very much for inviting me to share with you this glorious, gloomy, scary day with you. Thank you for this wonderful honor, and a billion million mazzles to all of you, your teachers and your parents. Make us proud. We've been waiting for you. Thanks.
Now you know why I get to speak first. Our second honorary degree recipient is Dr. Jeffrey Sachs. Dr. Sachs, would you join us? You are a leading international economist, as well as a